Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right, baby, welcome to the Gridiron. If you can give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. It's totally free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, in the description box below, a very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, just below that, there's a link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,500 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, I mean, it is absolutely amazing. You know, it just, you know, these, and I know, once again, I understand. Yeah. It's football. I get it and all that stuff. But it's really amazing. Like, just how some teams are just so, like, you know, jinxed, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's just, you know, every week it's just you lose just like more guys. Like, we're gonna play a football game. We're gonna probably lose half our roster this week. Then we're gonna play in the following week. We're gonna lose, and we're gonna lose another half of our roster. And it is absolutely amazing how just some teams, you know, are just get decimated by injuries week in and week out. It is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. How we can't go a week. Sorry, buddy. Can't go a week without, you know, losing, putting guys on IR. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And then there's other teams out there who just don't seem to have anybody even get a jock itch. Nothing. Oh, no. All 53 guys. Right, we're good. I think we're healthier after the game. Then we went in. Yeah. Some guys a little sluggish, a little tired. They came out, man. They're rejuvenated. Everybody's in great shape. Oh, yeah, no, nobody's injured. Nothing. No, we're good. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely amazing. Just like, yeah, it just, you know, it just, as I said, I mean, you know, is there, well, I mean, I think other than like when Isaiah Simmons jumped over the line and blocked it in Seattle, Bryce Ford Wheaton picked the ball up and ran it back for a touchdown or whatever, kind of to save the game. It would have gone to overtime. The Giants certainly might have won it. But, I mean, was that like the only good thing that went to the Giants? Yeah, I mean, it's like, it is unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Well, there's a little story I'm going to go about, which is kind of funny. I'll bring it up in a little bit. But these injuries are just, you know, roster moves and injuries and all, and like the offensive line seemed to maybe possibly take another hit here. So we got potential bad news for the offensive line. It's not looking real good here for Mr. Runyan here, unfortunately. It says the injuries continue to pile up for the New York Giants. Here is the latest. Oh, yeah. New York Giants offensive guard Jon Runyan speaks at a press conference. He was talking because he's one of the guys, right, that we're talking about here. If you thought the New York Giants 2024 season couldn't get any worse, think again. This is from SI.com. Giants starting left guard Jon Runyan Jr., who suffered an ankle injury in the team's 14-7 loss to the Saints on Sunday, is week to week. So you know how it is with Daboll. I mean, everything with Daboll. I mean, if it's not too bad, and there's a possibility, obviously, right, that he can come back and maybe play against the Ravens this week. It's a possibility. It's day to day, week to week. I mean, yeah, you can, pretty much, bye-bye. See, I mean, we got 4 games left, right? So, I don't know. I mean, just his quite possibly his season's over. Giants starting left guard, Runyan, right? Is week to week, maybe more than week to week. So you can probably pretty much almost kiss it. You know, if he says more than, well, you got 4 weeks left, and it's possibly more than week. I mean, you can almost, he's probably going on IR. His season's done too. So now we lost both our starting tackles, right, and our guard. Let's see, you know, any other team go out there, right, right, lose the two. What's up, buddy? Creative Solutions. That's it. Keep tanking, baby. Keep on tanking. I said, I'd love to see any other team go out there, lose both their tackles, both their guard, their starting quarterback. You know, it is, you know, not have their starting quarterback in there and just, you know, they're actually and their starting tight end, right? Yeah, and just, you know, and try to go win a Super Bowl. You can't. It's just amazing how some teams are allowed to. They're lucky enough, right? And other teams, you know, the Giants that don't even have a chance. Don't even have a chance, right? Miss Daniel, when the going gets tough. It's tough. It's tough. You know, I mean, it's the one thing. It's a shame because going into the season, every team has Super Bowl aspirations, but you don't know if you're allowed to. You know, you get down. You know, you pray to the Super Bowl gods. Dear Super Bowl, are we allowed to win the Super Bowl? Are we allowed to? Not are we going to? Do we have the drive? Do we have the team? Are we allowed to? Are we going to be lucky enough to keep half of our roster without putting, 52 out of the 53 players on injured reserve? Are we allowed to? You know, you got to get down, sweet dear baby Jesus, right? I said, meanwhile, there's other teams out there, guys go in, all 53 run into the game. They all run off the field at the end of the game. We're in great shape. Oh, yeah, nobody's in. It's simply amazing. I mean, I can't even speak sometimes. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the Giants don't even, I'm saying basically the Giants had the best roster in the league, and they still don't even have a chance. There's nothing will cut your, season shorter, quicker, more deadlier. It's like a spitting cobra, right? Than injuries, right? I mean, that's what happened to Patrick Mahomes. That's why, what did he have? 37 Super Bowl wins by now. I mean, it was the one time against the Bengals, not the Bengals, the Bucks. It started with a B. When he lost to the Buccaneers in that one, so he was running for his life. He couldn't even score a touchdown. Imagine that. Patrick Mahomes not even being able to score a touchdown in that one Super Bowl. Watch, because I think it was just 2 tackles, maybe somebody else, whatever. He was just running for his life the whole time. Even the Patrick Mahomes couldn't win a Super Bowl. Oh, imagine that, right? When the injuries are that bad, even Patrick Mahomes can't win a Super Bowl. So, the Giants, they don't have a chance. Didn't have a chance. As I said, I'd love to see Patrick Mahomes be the Giants quarterback. Lose his starting tight end, Travis Kelce. Right? Good luck then win a Super Bowl, right? Loses 2 starting tackles, right? Loses out his guard, right? And go win a Super Bowl. Go get him, Tiger. You're not gonna. You're not gonna, unless your defense can hold the other team down to like 3 points and you win 4-3 or something, like it's a baseball score or something. Mahomes ain't gonna. Nobody can do that. So, it's a shame, but then again, we weren't going to the Super Bowl anyway. And in the long run, right, this is probably what's best for the Giants. So, knock on wood. This is, we weren't going to the Super Bowl this year anyway. What do we got? Was a Tampa scheme. Their defense Hill was nullified as well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was more than that, but he was just running for his life. 3 freaking field goals. I said 3 points. I think it was 3 field goals. I couldn't even score. Couldn't even score a touchdown. Whew. Need better receivers. Oh, Mahomes, yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm saying, I mean, I think Kelsey was there, right? I mean, he had Hill, right? And I still, right? Any good? Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants wind up doing because quite possible. I mean, you never know. The Giants win one game or whatever with their strength of schedule or something like that, whatever. Boom. You know, I mean, they might wind up being pick number 4 or 5 or so. You don't know. But it'd be interesting to see if we're in the top 2 or 3. Do we wind up going for one of those quarterbacks, or do we want to take in that was it Hunter, the wide receiver / cornerback / he seems like he's Mr. Everything, right? So it'd be interesting to see what the Giants do. I mean, I'm saying, could you imagine, right? I mean, because a lot of it's going to depend upon, what obviously if Shane and Daboll are here, what do they think about the quarterbacks situation, right? Do the Giants, and I said, man, if they took another wide receiver, imagine having 2 number 1 wide receivers. Right? You got to get a bridge quarterback. There's quarterbacks we can get a bridge quarterback, but somewhere along the line they're going to need, to get somebody to carry the torch, somebody to lead us into the next 10, 15 years. How good are the draft prospects for the Giants? We should be picked number 1, first team eliminated. That would be, I mean, if you think about that, we were the first team eliminated, right? We need better, wait on. How good are the draft prospects for the Giants? What do you mean the draft? I mean, the guys that we just drafted? Or the, the big part of you mean the draft class that we just had this year? Is that what you mean? Draft prospects? Or the upcoming draft? Well, it depends. I mean, see, a lot of it all depends upon, obviously Shane and Daboll going to be here, right? And then if they are, it's, it's just kind of like, it doesn't matter what we think or anything like that. Oh, they should take Ward. They should take Sanders. That they should take Milrow or, these quarterbacks. It depends upon what they think, right? And because basically they're putting all the chips in the middle of the table. Their job is on the line with one if they draft a quarterback, right? If they don't think one of these quarterbacks is good or worth the number 1 pick or number 2 pick, whatever it is, then maybe they go after the receiver from Colorado. Or it depends upon obviously where the Giants want to draft it at. I mean, maybe if you got Malik Neighbors and you have 2 number 1 wide receivers and you get both those wide receivers on their rookie deals, because that would be really good because then you can control their contracts for 5 years, right? Of course, you still got to find yourself a quarterback. But this is a real good defensive line class, from what I understand. The Giants could use a good defensive lineman. It's not real good with quarterbacks. I believe there's obviously some very good corner backs coming out in this draft here as well, too. Giants can certainly get another running back. Obviously one of the later rounds if they want to maybe get rid of oops, I fumbled again, Eric Gray. So I mean this is a good it's a good class for some positions of especially of need. I think maybe for the Giants, like a cornerback and a defensive lineman. It's not great for quarterbacks. I mean, unless you draft one of the guys in the 2nd or 3rd round or something like that, and you think maybe you can develop them. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh, where are we at here? So, unfortunately, Runyan season might be over, unfortunately. That's not good for an offensive line that has already lost left tackle Andrew Thomas for the season, which has not had starting tackle Jermaine Eluemunor with a quad or Christopher Hubbard with his knee in the lineup. Runyan's injury isn't the only fresh one suffered by the unit. Center John Michael Schmitz is sore, per Daboll, who added that the second-year center has had an MRI done on his neck, which he injured in the loss to the Saints. Schmitz was replaced in the lineup by right guard Greg Van Roten, who was replaced by Jake Kubas at right guard. Runyan was replaced by Aaron Stinnie. In the other Giants injury news, safety Tyler Nubin, the team's leader in tackles with 98 tackles, has an ankle injury that he suffered in the game. Nubin, who was added to the Giants injury report late last week with a knee ailment, underwent an MRI on Monday, the results of which weren't available when Daboll spoke to the media. We're getting more. Okay. Daboll also said the quarterback Drew Lock, who had x-rays done after the game, is sore as well and was awaiting results of an MRI. Lock is believed to have injured his foot during the loss. But if he's healthy enough, Daboll, we're going to go over this here. Lock will remain the starter. But there's quite a few roster moves we got here. This is from SI.com. The injuries keep piling up, forcing the team to shuffle their roster. Giants made several moves on the 53-man roster and practice squad thanks to injuries. Second-year quarterback Tre Hawkins III, who came up with the Giants' first interception on Sunday since week 1, and their first interception by somebody in the secondary all year long. Took them 13 weeks to get an interception by somebody in the secondary. Tre Hawkins was placed on season-ending injury reserve with a back injury. Hawkins appeared in 3 games this season with 1 start, which was this past Sunday, obviously. He ends the season with 10 tackles and becomes the 11th Giants player to land on injured reserve. 11 players. To replace Hawkins on the 53-man roster, the Giants signed cornerback Greg Stroman off their practice squad. Stroman, who joined the Giants practice squad on October 1st, has been elevated from the practice squad a maximum of 3 times, primarily to provide help on special teams and depth at cornerback, where he has 4 solo tackles. The Giants also filled 4 practice squad openings by signing quarterback Tim Boyle. There you go. Right? Defensive back Ross Blacklock and cornerbacks Boy Doe and Aziz Hearn. Boyle was cut by the Giants last week to make room for Casey Rogers and Elijah Garcia, both of whom were added to provide depth by the injury-depleted defensive line, and for cornerback return specialist D. Williams, who was awarded off waivers by Seattle. We got Blaylock at 6'5", 306 pounds, was originally a second-round draft pick by the Texans out of TCU in 2020. He spent 2 seasons with the Texans and then moved to the Vikings in 2022. In 2023, he split his time between the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Titans. Blacklock has appeared in 44 career games with 3 starts. He has 49 career tackles, 27 solo, 5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 9 quarterback hits. Boy Doe is 6 foot tall, 177 pounds, played his college ball at K-State. He signed with the Kansas City Chiefs as an undrafted free agent in 2023, for whom he appeared in 6 games with no starts, contributing mostly on special teams. Hearn is 6'2", 204 pounds, signed as an undrafted free agent out of UCLA with the Raiders in 2023. He is yet to play in an NFL regular season game. The Giants' final move on Tuesday was to designate interior offensive lineman Jimmy Morrissey as injured on the practice squad. The team did not disclose Morrissey's injury. The following Giants remain on the injury reserve. So we got DJ Davidson with the shoulder. He's eligible to come back the final week of the season, so we'll have to wait and see. Dexter Lawrence, obviously, his elbow, he's out for the season. Theo Johnson, with his foot, he's out for the season. Armon Watts, the defensive lineman, shoulder, he's eligible to return week 17. Azeez Ojulari, his toe, he's eligible to return week 17. Andrew Thomas, his foot, he's out for the season. Gunnar Olszewski with a groin, he was eligible to return week 6. Deontay Johnson, linebacker, with his ankle, designated to return December 4th. So, Austin Schlottman, his leg, he's eligible to return. Well, it looked like it was like week 5. But Elijah Riley, defensive back, undisclosed, he's out for the season. And Tre Hawkins with his back, he's out for the season. So once again, I mean, the Giants just annihilated 13 weeks for 1 interception. Oh, yeah, we need solid prospects. The question asked was on character skill level. Yeah, the candidates that have good answer, that have a good head on their shoulders. Yeah, well, I mean, that's, you can look at like Shane's like 2022, and instead of I'd pulling them up and go over name by name, but the 2022 class is kind of, and the 2023, but this one here, I mean, with obviously Malik Neighbors, obviously seems like a hit. Phillips and Newbin, right? Theo Johnson and Tracy. See, even Mursal was in there. He had 8 tackles against the Saints. For a 6th round pick, later round pick, somebody especially good. He was a tackle machine kind of UCLA. But, maybe used more for special teams with the Giants, unless he's got to fill in a linebacker, right? But, this year's draft class really seems to be really good. Phillips, getting that guy in the 3rd round, great pick. Newbin leads the team in tackles from safety. I'm not saying he's totally replaced Xavier McKinney, but, McKinney cost $17 million. Newbin cost about $1 million, right? I said Theo Johnson looked like he was really coming on. I know this last 5-6 games or so he caught a decent amount of ball. He only had 3 catches, I think, after the first 4 games, and he wound up with 29 on the season. He was on pace if he stayed healthy for at least 40, 45 receptions. And as I said, that's after catching only 3 balls in the first 4 games. So if he comes back next season, if Daboll and Shane are here, if he's the same system and all that, I don't see why he couldn't catch 40 to 50 balls for us. I said Tracy really seems like a very good running back, a 5th rounder. We can certainly pick up another running back, that's for sure. But the guys that we have this year, the guys that we picked this year really seem to be pretty good. But Shane, and he's got a, that would be a real help to the Giants if they can, get a nice influx of some real good young talent next year. Because quite possibly, obviously, we're supposed to have a 1st round, a 2nd round, a 3rd round, but we might have maybe 2 4th round picks. So if Shane, if they can come up, get another 3, 4, 5 guys, who look, we got Newbin starter, Phillips starter, Malik Neighbors starter, Theo Johnson starter, and now we got Tyrone Tracy in there as a starter too, right? So he got 5 starters, So if he can get another 3, 4, 5 starters or whatever next season, that'd be fantastic. That would really help out. Plus, we got some money to spend. So that would be a huge plus for the Giants, in going into free agency. So, but one of the positions we're definitely going to need, definitely going to need but is quarterback. But this week coming up, right? We got Drew Lock, right? Who's going to be the starter? Now, he's done some good things. He's done some head scratching things. One of the biggest, without going over the whole game, just one of those things was just, and you can even see Daboll at the top of the screen, very top of the screen, right? Drew Lock drops back. It was 3rd down. I forgot what it was, 3rd and 3 or 4, whatever it was. He starts scrambling. Now, what was it? There we go. Here we go. Now, if Drew Lock kept going straight across, he would have gotten a 1st down. But the line was here, and he was running straight. Nah. And there's an opening. I could keep running maybe and get the 1st down, but nah. I'm going to start going sideways, and I'll get tackled over here about 2 yards short of the 1st. And you could see Daboll at the top of the screen, just and it was like, what are you doing? The pick 6 against the Cowboys, the fumble against, so he's done some, he looks like a movie star. Handsome dude. Oh, yeah, his girlfriend, got a pretty girlfriend too. Oh, yeah. and he's about what is it, like $5 million richer. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know if gonna have to be interested to see what did this leave a bad taste? I mean, like with Tyrod Taylor, I don't even know if Tyrod Taylor was going to want to come back to the Giants this year after he lost he got injured and he came back, and then he kept Tommy chicken cutlet parmesan in there, and that kind of rubbed Tyrod Taylor the wrong way. And then when he was with the Jets. I was with the Jets, and earlier this season or in the preseason, he was talking, making fun of the Giants a little bit, or saying some, well, how's it working out for you now, Tyrod? Huh? How them Jets doing? How about them Jets, huh? Right. So it's going to be interesting to see, because Drew came in and he was supposed to be maybe the backup or whatever, and then they got rid of Daniel, and Drew thought maybe he'd be the backup, and then they threw Tommy chicken cutlet parmesan in there, and it might maybe did that rub Drew Lock the wrong way. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he, he's getting to start, right? It'll be his third start in a row if he's healthy. Maybe he finishes out the season. We'll have to wait and see. Does he want to come back? Oh yeah. See, everything is just hunky and dory, and everybody's holding hands and singing Kumbaya. I'm all roasting marshmallows by the fire and telling stories of past days, and everybody's laughing, and everything's just hunky dory. Yay! Some teams are like that, right? But when nothing goes right, all you do is lose. See, there's some teams that win, right? I mean, not that the Chiefs are a bad team, right? Don't get me wrong. But see, there's some teams like the Chiefs, who get the luck. When the other team is in field, like the Raiders, who are in possible field goal range to kick a game-winning field goal, right? And you have to win. Actually, it's 2 games, I can add, right? And you have to win by the other team possibly the quarterback fumbling a snap for you to get. You're lucky. I don't care how good we found a way to. No, you got lucky. Giants don't get that luck. Then there was the other one. I can't remember who it was against. Denver, maybe? It was a little bit earlier in the season. I think the team, whoever it was, maybe Denver, whatever. I can look it up. But I mean, I think they were trying to kick the game-winning field goal. And of course, the Chiefs, somebody had an arm there and wound up blocking it. Everybody puts arms up. And so, I mean, you can even have guys in the backfield and still miss the ball. Well, the Chiefs got lucky, and well, kudos to them. But I mean, when you have to rely on blocking a field, it's a lot of it's luck. I could put my arm up right here and miss the ball. I can move my hand about an inch or so over this way, and I can hit it. Are you lucky enough? The Giants aren't, and some of the other teams are. It is what it is. But it'd be interesting to see if Drew Lock winds up wanting to come back next season. Lost as a team. Okay, quarterback and blockers. Something about Mahomes and the Chiefs. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'm just starting to get when they started beating finally they started getting, they started becoming like maybe the better team, and Brady and the Patriots weren't the best team anymore. I was happy. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and all of that stuff. And I'm, cool, And I was so happy when they beat the Eagles. I was so happy, So if it winds up being the Eagles and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I'll be pulling for the Chiefs. But other than that, I'm sick and tired of seeing the Chiefs. I mean, I just can't stand seeing the same team in there every year. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, I can't stand. I mean, I like Andy Reid. I think he's a nice guy and all that stuff. But I'm just sick and tired of seeing the same team in there, week in and week out. So it says what Daboll was saying was Drew Lock to start at quarterback for the Giants versus the Ravens if he's healthy. So he's a little banged up. The envelope, please. The starting quarterback for the next game for the Giants, 1 p.m. Sunday against the Ravens at MetLife Stadium will be Drew Lock. Come on down, as long as he's healthy enough. So Lock got hit early and often by the Saints in the 14-11 loss and went for an MRI exam Monday to make sure there was not any structural damage behind the soreness he was feeling afterwards. Drew will be a quarterback this week unless he can't, based on injury, head coach Brian Daboll said. The reason Locke gained the starting role 2 weeks ago was because Tommy DeVito injured his right forearm in his first start of the season when lost to the Bucs. Daboll made the curious choice to name DeVito as the replacement to Daniel Jones, even though DeVito had been the quarterback number 3, and Locke had served as quarterback number 2 for each of the first 10 games of the season. And all of a sudden, when Daniel Jones isn't anymore, you think the quarterback number 2 would be elevated to quarterback number 1, but no. Quarterback number 2 stayed stationary, and quarterback number 3 jumped quarterback number 2 to become the starter. So did that rub Drew Lock the wrong way? Is he holding that? At the end of the season, he's going to say, "No, see you later, Giants. I don't want you." They may not want him back either. So, but Lock lost his first start, tossing 1 interception, losing a fumble, which were tough plays. I mean, because the 1 interception, obviously, against the Cowboys with Drew Lock led to the pick 6, and then the fumble on a scramble. He didn't secure the ball well enough, got punched out. And I think it was 6 plays later led to a touchdown for the Cowboys. So those 2 turnovers were huge. Locke in his second start struggled early and got some things done late, but finished with an unsightly final statistic line of 21 of 49, 227 yards and an interception. He was sacked twice and hit 13 times. Ugh. I mean, there's no offensive line. I mean, what do you expect? Locke did not connect on his first 8 passes. The last NFL quarterback to go 0 for 8 to start a game was Cam Newton of the Panthers back on December 31st, 2017. The Panthers ended up losing that game 22-10 in Atlanta, blowing a chance to win the NFC South. They finished 11-5 and still made the playoffs, though. Daboll did not really offer any compelling reason for sticking with Locke. Yeah, he's played really... He's played, really had 1 week of practice to go out there and play, Daboll said. Again, things that everybody could do better, but he'd be the quarterback this week if he's healthy. Obviously, because Malik Neighbors went into the game with a new hip flexor injury and lingered strained groin. His groin lingered. But on the bright side, right, Neighbors has 80 receptions, the most by an NFL player through his first 11 games, because he missed He missed 2 games this year with a concussion. So the record of 79 was previously held by Odell Beckham in 2014. So first 11 games, Malik Neighbors with a bad offensive line, a bad team, bad quarterback play, all that stuff and everything. Malik Neighbors as the NFL rookie just for 11 games. That's life. Allies become adversary. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got that right. Oh, yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to see, because if they were thinking about maybe keeping Tommy going forward, right? This would be a perfect time for him. If they think they're going to be here next season, if they think Drew Lock, isn't going to be here, or they're going to bring somebody else in, or whatever. I mean, this would be perfect for Tommy. Perfect time for Tommy. I mean, we're out of the playoffs, right? Get Tommy in there, right? Let him do his thing. Get a lot of valuable snaps, and that way next season he should hopefully be a little bit better. The one thing was with him, I mean, you can say this about like almost all the Giant games. It's just the slow start. I mean, in the second half, Tommy did better in the second half against the Bucs. He started off, we were down 23-0 at halftime. So he was able to do better, but I kind of wondering, did he pick his game up, or did the Buccaneers, allow a bunch of short receptions or whatever, and they came up, made a tackle, keep the clock running, and we just, because in the second half, each team scored 1 touchdown. But I mean, both, what the heck was it? Tommy's game, right, against the Bucs, we scored no points. Drew Lock against the Cowboys scored 10 points, and then this week here we scored 3 points at halftime, I think. So in the past 3 games, in the first half, we scored a grand total of 13 points. It's like, yeah. Tommy's game, right, against the Bucs, we scored 7 points in the second half. Against the Cowboys, we scored 10 points in the second half. And then this week here, we scored the 8 points. Right, and almost scored 11 points. But, I mean, we have no offense. It's just horrible. Horrible. I mean, we get behind the 8 ball. We just, it's like halftime, we got 3 points. Halftime, we're getting shut out. It's like, even against Carolina. But kudos to them. They did a good job. But they gave the Eagles a good fight for the money. So kudos to Carolina, right? What profession am I in? Oh, I'm like retired. I'm retired. My wife's got a real good job. So I've been kind of retired. Yeah, I'm writing. I do this. I'm writing a book. Yeah, so I keep pretty busy. All right, then we got, is this, oh, let me see here. Is it, oh, I gotta see which story we had here. Is this one? Oh, okay, all right, okay. All right, so, but I mean, if you look at with Drew Lock, right? I mean, his numbers are not that impressive, but then again, you got to look at things, right? Our starting tight end is not there. We're losing the offensive lineman left and right. He's running for his life. It's kind of tough to play a real good game of football, right? So, but it was the same thing with DeVito too. I mean, tackles are, so it's just horrible, absolutely horrible. But so if Locke is healthy enough, he's going to play against the Ravens, and they're going to be pissed off because they lost to the Eagles a couple weeks ago. They had their bye week. They're going to come in hopefully kind of a little healthy and all that, and they'll be pissed off. And because they're 8-5, they don't want to lose too many more games, or they might be out of the playoffs. So this is a huge game for them. They really got to win this game. They want to go. They want to be 9-5 after this game's over. They don't want to be 8-6 because the playoffs are coming, and these final 4 games are going to be huge for the Ravens. So. But. So this one here, so I mean, this is just like, talking about, I mean, we got to go all the way back to 1966. The Giants are have their largest home dogs in 58 years. We got to go back to 1966, which is pretty much like the worst year in Giants history. They were 112-1. 1966 wasn't necessarily, it was kind of odd, 1966, 1965 and 1966, 1964, actually 65 and 66, those 2 seasons there were in the middle of the Hall of Famers, right? 1960, 61, 62, 63, 64, we had Y.A. Tittle. Tittle retired after 64. 65, 66, we had like Earl Morrall, right? Great backup quarterback, though. But then 67, got Frank Tarkenton, another Hall of Fame quarterback. So 65 to 66, I said Morrall was a decent quarterback. Record doesn't seem to match. No. Oh, no, they're 8-5. That's very disappointing. Very disappointing for them. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just, they definitely should be. I mean, hey, I'll take 8-5, but for them, I'm sure they think they should be a little bit better than 8-5. I kind of agree. So so this game, the final 4 games, well, let's take a look, shall we? Because I think the Giants, I saw 14.5 point Giants underdogs. What do we got here? 2024. Baltimore Ravens. All right, so who do they got here? They got to play the Giants. Then they got to play the Steelers. Then they got to play the Texans in Houston, and then they finish up with Cleveland. So Cleveland at home. So Cleveland give them a battle, right? Especially because there's a story I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes. They got rid of one of their trash ball players, but that's going to be a battle. That'll be a battle. Certainly doesn't mean Cleveland's going to win though. But they got Pittsburgh at home. That's going to be a huge game, and then they got the Texans in Houston. That's going to be a tough one. The Texans are 8-5 as well too. So they want to win that game. So they got Pittsburgh at home. It's going to be a big one, and Houston on the road. So they got some couple winnable games, but then they got some tough ones too. So if they lose to the Steelers and they lose to the Texans, they'll give them like 7 losses. They'll be 10-7. They might be able to make the playoffs, but it just. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It just. Let's see where we're at. There we go. It's once again. It's just. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. The first week of the season. Yeah. Well, the thing was with that. Yeah. They lost, but I forgot exactly what the score was, but I got it at 27-20. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Once again. That just goes to show you, right? How like anything that can, it's like it's just like with the Chiefs, they just get any freaky play or whatever fumble, something like always seems to go their way. Right? It just, so you have to go through the whole season and get quarterbacks fumbling balls, and you have to block a field goal with no time on it to win a game. But it is what it is. But the Giants being 14 or 14.5 points. I said you got to go back to 66. The Giants' offense in 66 was putting up some points. The Giants' offense in 66 scored over 40 points twice, lost both games. When you score 42 points in a game and you lose it, that means your defense sucks. The 1960, the Giants' defense gave up 501 points. I forgot what that is. 36 points a game they gave up. That's historically bad. They're in the upper whatever. As far as I'm concerned, top 5 of all crappy defenses of all. You give up 71 points in a game to the Washington Redskins. Just absolutely horrible. Washington had some good players and all that, but they didn't win the championship that year. They didn't go to the playoffs. So, the Giants get horrible that year, 1966. And I said they could score some points. Their defense was just horrible. This Giants 2024 is kind of the exact opposite. Our defense, is acceptable, okay? But it's our offense. We're just not scoring any points. And, to be 14.5 point underdogs at home, it's just, we certainly deserve to be, right? The Ravens are a good football team, and we stink. So the Giants enter Week 15 with biggest home underdog spread in 58 years for them, for the Giants. Giants are having a bad season, so much that fans let owner John Mara know with a plane that flew over the stadium on Sunday. After yet another disappointing loss, clinched by a blocked last-second field goal, the team is facing another stiff challenge in Week 15. And the sports books are setting historic odds for it. According to ESPN's bet, New York is currently entering the contest with the Ravens 14.5 point underdogs at home. If that line holds until Sunday, will be the team's largest since 1966 against the St. Louis Cardinals, where they were 14.5 point underdogs. Giants are 14.5 point underdogs. If the line moves back to just 14 point underdogs, it would still be their largest home underdog roll since 1966, which when they were 14 point underdogs at home, 1966 against the Cowboys, who were a good team in 66. They went to the championship game. They lost 34-27 in the NFL championship game to the Green Bay Packers, who then that wound up being a year of Super Bowl one. Even if it were to slide back to 14 points, it would still be the largest home underdogs. Just against the Cowboys in 1966. Giants only scored 11 points Sunday against the Saints and are averaging just 14.9 points per game, which is the worst in the NFL. Baltimore is averaging 29.5 points a game. So you can almost say, right? The Giants score 15 points a game. The Ravens score 29.5 points a game. Combine the two, right? It's 14.5 point difference right there. I know that's not how they came up with the number, but right? Giants average 15 points a game. Ravens average 29.5 points a game. The 29.5 points a game for Baltimore is the third best in the league and boasts a multiple offensive weapons that will overbear New York's defense, despite it being ranked 19th overall entering Week 14. Now, tell you what, the Giants' run defense is going to be it'll be challenged this week, to say the least. Even with a weapon like rookie wide receiver Malik Neighbors in the lineup, there is no way New York's offense will be able to keep up with Baltimore. The funny thing is that quarterback Lamar Jackson has lost only 2 times in the NFC. The most recent was against the Eagles, obviously, a couple weeks ago at home. And then 2 years ago, he lost when the Ravens came here and we wound up beating them. Kayvon knocked the ball out in the final minute, whatever it was. No, I'm sorry. That was a fumble. It was an interception, right? So that was an exciting game, but that was the Ravens' only other loss to an NFC team. First time was 2020, but history is unlikely to repeat itself this time, and Vegas is well aware of it. So the Giants are, and obviously, 222 to nothing. Yeah, that could be this one, right? Right? That would be a tough watch. 222, I think it was, to nothing. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be a very difficult watch, that's for sure. But then I saw this. This one kind of made me laugh a little bit, and just kind of goes to show you. With some people, they just need to, it just goes to show you how, like, I don't know, how immature some people are. And, some people really just need to, keep their mouth shut and all. And there's nothing but, warms my heart to see this turd, right? Let go once again, especially after he winds up botching a fumble. The one at the end of the game didn't really matter. But so the Browns let the guy go. I mean, a couple of the things, after the Giants traded him, right? He went to the Chiefs, and luckily for him, I mean, the one thing that will always, make me happy, and it's just me, it doesn't mean anybody else, but makes me happy, was because that punt return against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, right? And all that, because I can't stand the Eagles. Absolutely can't stand the Eagles. I'd rather see Patrick Mahomes win the next 300 Super Bowls than to see. I can't stand the Eagles. So I'll always tip my cap, a little debt of gratitude to Kadarius Toney for that punt return and all that, and everything. But after he won the Super Bowl, right? He was getting his ring measured or something, like his finger measured, I guess it was, for the Super Bowl or whatever. And so he holds up his middle finger, and he said, and that's to the Giant fans out there, and all that. And I mean, do you see any other players do that? Have you ever seen really any other intelligent, non-childish, do stuff like that? I'm sure maybe it's happened. I don't know. I'm not aware of it. I mean, as I said, it probably happened, but I mean, it just, Yeah, it's guys like Eli Apple, right? He's talking about how he hates the city of New York, and then he went to New Orleans, and he said that he's not sure. I can't remember what stadium stinks, what fan base stinks, or what city stinks more, or something like that. But he was talking trash about New York and the Saints and all, and New Orleans and all that. It's like, dude, man, just shut your mouth, man. Can you be a man? So of course, right after that, he's on cover of Sports Illustrated for giving up the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. That was great. That's on cover of Sports Illustrated full time. Right? Eli Apple getting toasted and all that. I mean, Eli, he was a good, but he was not, he was certainly not, wasn't worth pick 10 in the draft. And I said, and the thing is with Kadarius Toney, I mean, the dude had some moves. I mean, my God. I mean, really. I mean, but I mean, it's like some people are just I don't know. Unfortunately, a lot of times he was always injured. I mean, always. I mean, with the Giants, I'm not keeping up on him. So when he was with the Chiefs, I know he had some injuries with the Chiefs. I know with the Browns, I don't know, but they let him go. I don't know if he was on the injury report. I have no idea. But he was always injured with the Giants. And it just seemed like, I don't know. He always took stuff as, it just wasn't that serious, and just, I don't know, just not mature enough in the way he went about things and everything. It just kind of, it just always just rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm sure some other team might wind up picking him up. Well, I can see the Eagles picking him up, something like that. But he won't be finishing the season with the Browns. So we got Browns dump Kadarius Toney 2 days after a miserable game. Kadarius Toney is out of a job once again. I mean, if the guy wants to be his time, also his time in the NFL is running out. He can't. You got me thinking about Kerry Collins. His time in the NFL is, it's a small window and it's closing. He's got to, if he wants to play, he should really try to maybe start getting serious about his job and all that and everything. But we'll have to wait and see. Somebody might want to pick him up, but don't know who. Let's see, the former Giant wide receiver was waived by the Browns on Tuesday after a disappointing stint in Cleveland. After being released by the Chiefs in August, Toney signed with the Browns to their practice squad in September. He appeared in just 3 games for Cleveland, making 0 catches on just 1 target. Toney's release comes just days after a dreadful Week 14 outing against the Steelers. During the fourth quarter of the 27-14 loss, Toney muffed the punt, ruining any chance at a Browns comeback. In the same quarter, he earned a taunting penalty that cost the Browns 15 yards. The Florida standout was infamously picked by the Giants with the 20th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. In the middle of the next season, Toney was moved to the Chiefs for a 3rd and a 6th round pick. After being a Super Bowl hero for the Chiefs in 2023, scoring a touchdown and setting up another with a long punt return, Toney had a brutal season, dropping multiple passes in their season opener against the Lions and lining up off sides in a crushing defeat to the Bills in December. He was benched in the 2024 Super Bowl, with the Chiefs beat the 49ers in overtime. During his first 4 seasons in the league, Toney's played 35 games, 82 receptions, 760 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, and 1 more touchdown on the ground. Toney will now look to join his 4th team in 4 seasons, right? Because we drafted him 2021, right? So he's looking for his 4th team. Now the thing is that obviously with him is with Kadarius, it was toward the end. There's a couple minutes left to go in the game against Pittsburgh, and he wound up muffing a punt. And I think it was number 15 or number 17 of the Steelers recovered it. Well, it's just, it's kind of like karma comes right back at you, right? And it was almost instantaneously, because earlier, I think he caught a punt or something. I don't know. He was having words with this guy, and the guy from the Steelers, whatever they had words. The guy from the Steelers turned around and started walking away, and he was like 2, 3, 4 yards away from Kadarius Toney. And Kadarius didn't fire the ball at him, but he just tossed it at him. It was a little bit of a lob to it. So it was like 3, 4 yards away, whatever he was, and hit him in the back. Watch it. Yeah. So he's making, I can't say he's making fun, but he throws the ball, lobs, hits the dude in the back. That's just a taunting penalty. It just goes to show you, the one guy, the mature guy, knows it's a team sport. It's not about me. I'm the young joker. It's all about me. Look at me. Now the guy and also because Tomlin would probably kick the dude off the team if he did anything, right? But so the one they maybe had words about. So the one dude from the Steelers turned his back, started walking toward the sideline, right? Plays over. I'm gonna walk away like a man, right? Maybe if you said something to me, hurt my feelings, whatever, I'm going to turn around and walk away, because the bigger man is the one that turns around and walks away. Well, because obviously, we know who the bigger man was, because Kadarius just couldn't let it go, right? Just couldn't let it go. So he had to toss the ball at the guy, hit him in the back. I said it wasn't hard or nothing like that, but it's taunting. He got 15 yards, hurt his team, right? Well, then the punt, right? That Kadarius fumbled the ball. Well, guess who's the one that recovered the fumble? Wasn't Kadarius. It was I can't. Once again, I forget it. Forgive me. It was the guy number 15 or number. Well, let me see here. It bothered me. Here we go. We got it here. I got. All right. So let's see here. Number 15 with 2:53 to go. Now, I'm sure, if they scored 14 points in, the first 57 minutes of the game, I can't see the Browns scoring 2 touchdowns in the final 2:53. So the fumble, but I mean, basically eliminated any chance of them coming back, right? But it was fun because he muffed the punt, and the dude he hit in the back with the ball, right? They got the 15-yard penalty on, was the one who recovered the ball. So right. So it's like some people just really just need to shut the up, grow up, become a man, and get serious about life and whatever. Now, I mean, if you're gonna, I think he's called the young joker or the joker or whatever. I mean, if you're gonna, that's how you're gonna feed your family. I mean, obviously he's made some money, right? With his rookie deal, though he's picking up his 5th-year option, so he has 4 years. So after this year, right, if he's going to go out there, somebody might pick him up. It's going to be probably less than $1 million or $1 million, maybe at the most, or maybe $1 million with some incentives or something. I don't know, but you ain't making. You'll be lucky to make a roster. Period. So if you might want to start thinking about growing up and being mature. I mean, because whatever you think you are, you're not. You're far from it. You need to really grow up and mature, and all. And so he needs a mentor. He needs somebody to keep him in his place and all that. But it is what it is. But so a fine, outstanding young man, the Joker, AKA right, Kadarius Toney, right, is out of a job once again. As I said, somebody will probably pick him up, but couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, think with the talent that he has, right? If he really worked on his craft and all that stuff, he was with the Chiefs. Hello, right? I mean, he's got the best quarterback in football, Patrick Mahomes, throwing the football to him. I mean, hello. I mean, not saying this guy is going to get 70, 80 passes in a season, but I mean, if he's healthy, if he doesn't drop all these passes or lining up offside, which cost him a game and all, dude, he'd still be on the Chiefs. Well, anyway. So I just want to go over here real fast now. The time of the week here. I want to go over the where we at there. Just do this real fast here. The team and the player grades. This is according to PFF. After the Giants get spanked by the Saints, so where do the Giants? Where do the Giants right now? Their team, right? Where does PFF have them ranked for all the? I think there's like 13 different team categories that PFF has. So let me pop that up. Let me share my screen here. Hold on here. And then I go over all of the offensive player grades and the defensive player grades, and then I finish up with the special team grades. But all right, so all right, here we go. Here are the team grades. All right, so. Needless to say, the overall team grade, Lions are number 1, and Eagles number 2. And even the Ravens, even at 8-5, right? Overall team grade. Look at the Chargers, even at 8-5, their overall team grade 89.3. So you tell me coaching doesn't make a difference. Harbaugh comes in, they're 8-5. 2 of their losses, 2 tough, close. I don't know, 1-point loss, whatever it is to the Chiefs. 2 of them, right? So tough losses. I mean, it's weird because you even got the Falcons and the 49ers. Their teams are up there, but the Giants are way down with like 27. Yeah, number 27, the Giants are. Their team grade is 70.9. So the Giants' overall team grade, they're 27th. Then we go to the offense. The Ravens, not going to bid well for the Giants. It's going to be really interesting to see how the Giants' run defense did really good against the Saints. Held Alvin Kamara in check, right? Kamara held them in check. They were averaging over 130 yards a game, and we held them to under 100. So it's going to be interesting to see what we wind up doing here with the Ravens, right? But they're number 1. So the Giants are number 28. We grade a 65.4. So at least we're not the worst. There are other worse teams out there. Even the Cowboys, they're great. That's all it is. But you'll notice here the Giants have the least amount of points scored. Every other team is over 200 points. The Giants have 194. Every other team is over 200. And does anybody have? Oh, yeah, even the Lions. The Lions have over 400 points scored. The Giants don't even have 200 points scored, and the Lions have, in the same amount of games, have over, what would that be? Lions have about 225 more points scored than the Giants do in the same amount of games. Unbelievable, dude. Passing grade, the Bengals. I mean, with Higgins and Chase, I mean, man, what a dynamic duo. All right, so the Giants passing grade. We're number 30. There you go. We're at 60.4, according to PFF. Pass blocking. The Broncos are number 1, 82.6. That's another one of the reasons why their young stud quarterback is doing very well. Their pass blocking is giving the dude a chance, right? Our pass block, I'm not saying the guys are slacking or anything like that. It's just that with the injuries we have and the players we have in there and all of that, I mean, our pass blocking, it just a lot of times just does not give our quarterback a good chance. So our let's see where we at here. Pass blocking. We're at number 26 overall. It's 58.4. So not good. It's not good when it's a passing league and your pass blocking is next to the bottom. So receiving grade. The Lions are number 1, 86.1. All right, so the Giants receiving grade is 31. You got a lot of drop balls, 64.8. Obviously, so that also does not help, obviously, the offense, but that does not obviously help the quarterback either. Sometimes the quarterback's like, well, dude, this is your stats. Your stats stink. Well, if I had an offensive line, I wasn't getting hit or running for my life every play. Sometimes I'm throwing the ball, the wide receivers ain't catching them, So, running. Falcons, number 1, 92.2 running grade. The Bills, obviously, the Bills is with Josh Allen, right? I mean, we got Kirk Cousins in there with the Falcons. I mean, that's not why that's not why the Falcons are their running game is. But with the Bills, it's from their quarterback, and then of course you got the Ravens in there with Henry, but also their quarterback as well too. But the Giants running, let's see here. Oops. 21, 75.6. Run blocking. What we got here? Giants number 19. 63.7. All right, now we go to the defensive side. Who's got the Eagles? Got the number 1 defense, 86.5. So the Giants, number 13, not bad. We're in the upper half of the league. Wow, imagine that, 70.4. Run defense. Let's see, the Browns are number 1, 82.3. And we got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we got the run defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. 65.8. Number 17, the Giants are. Tackling has been atrocious for the Giants. Absolutely atrocious. The Patriots, number 1, 75.1. Followed by the Steelers, who are at 75. But the Giants tackling it. Giants toward the bottom here. Giants are, 20. Actually, I think they were a little worse last week. They're 20. But their tackling is a 45.8. That means it just goes to show you. 45 is pathetic. Absolutely. But it just goes to show you, look at the tackling. According to PFF, that is, right? Look at the Dolphins. 29 is their tackling grade. The Browns, 33, 35, 30. And the tackling has been absolute trash. Absolute trash. We got pass rush. Oops. Let's see, the Giants, number 7. 75.1. I think that's their best grade out of all, I think. Coverage grade. The Eagles, number 1, 90.9. And let's see, the Giants, number 16, 63. So they're right in the middle there, the coverage grade. And special teams. The Giants have been decent here. Not super deep, but I mean, okay. Patriots are number 1 at 90.6. And then we got the Giants are at number 18, 79.1. So I mean, 79.1, not bad. But obviously, without question, it would certainly like, a couple of them been killers. Whoops. A couple of them been, just straight up killers. Yeah, you figure. They hit better than Dallas. Yeah. But I mean the punt return against the Steelers, right? That was a big one. This block field goal right here. So I mean special teams are Graham Gano's been injured. I mean, even the Hammer's been doing pretty good. You got to give the Hammer some credit, but he had some injuries this year too. So I mean, it's just everything. It's just been the defense injuries, the offense injuries, special teams injuries. I mean, it's absolute mess. And it's just, I mean, you always look forward to the following season, but then it's like as you're getting close to the season, you always got the excitement, the expectations, and all. But it's like it's like once again, is it going to be like last year where everything went wrong? Are we going to be able to stay healthy? It's I mean, it's so tough and difficult and all and everything. Go through the off season, you get all excited and all that, and then just one injury after the other just wipes this guy out, and this guy out, and this guy. It's like, horrible, horrible, horrible. So let's go over the Giants, their players. Now, the offensive grades for their players after the Giants get spanked by the Saints. So, all right, let me share my screen here. All right, here we go. Okay, so we go to the Saint game here, game reports. Offense. Okay, here we go. John Michael Schmitz. Right? John Michael Schmitz. Obviously, he got injured, so he couldn't finish the game. Right? But he graded out a 79.5. Obviously, it's 79.5 for John. Let's check this out. It's probably his best. I think his best game of the season. Let's see if I can pop him up there. 79. Yeah. I mean, he's had some rough ones, but 79.5. This is his best. 87.5. That was his best for the season. I mean, 61. I mean, can you live with it? Yeah, but I mean, the pass blocking, 46.5. I mean, the guy's got to get maybe a little stronger, right, at the point of attack. I mean, one of his things is that he is obviously on a smaller side, and if he's going up against these big D tackles, some of them can overpower him. But you kind of figure because he's a wrestler, he can use his hands and leverage and all that stuff and everything and be effective. But I still think he's definitely got to get a little bit stronger. Maybe add on a little bit of weight and get a little bit stronger, right? Number 2 is Greg Van Roten. Very good game. 78.5. These two guys had good pass run blocking. Good run blocking grades. 78.5, Greg Van Roten. Malik Neighbors, injured groin and everything. So he had some injuries out there, right? His hip, his groin, but he went out there and had 72. Jake Kubas, left guard for 29 snaps, 71.9. Aaron Stinnie, right guard for 44 snaps. Because what happened was, I think he had Van Roten moved in for Schmitz. I think Stinnie went in for Van Roten. I mean, it was just, right. But Aaron Stinnie, 70.6, very respectable. Evan Neal, right? Good games. According to PFF, 78 snaps, right? He was in there for all the snaps. Grade out of 70.1. John Runyan, obviously got injured. Was in there for just 34 snaps, 66.9. Yeah, Zudu, right? I mean, it's kind of a solid game there, right? 78 snaps. Now, I mean, you'll notice here, we it was just only ran the ball 18 times, 18 run blocker snaps right here, 18. I guess we thought we couldn't run the ball on him or something. I don't know. Daniel Bellinger, he had a very good game. Caught some passes. 61 snaps, graded at 61.5. Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan had to go in there for a snap. He graded out at a 60. Greg Dulcich. Kind of hoping maybe, because we got him off of waivers, right? So he's our third tight end. He was just in there for the one snap. Wando Robinson was in there almost every snap. I think he missed one snap. 77 snaps, graded out of 56. Darius Slayton was in there for 66 snaps, 55.8. Jalen Hyatt, 18 snaps, 52.5. Drew Lock, 77 snaps, 51.1. And then the bottom 3, we got Chris Manhertz, 15 snaps, 48.5. Tyrone Tracy was in there for 65 snaps. We got here 47.7. And Devin Singletary was in there for 14 snaps, 46.4. Now, somehow, Devin Singletary, so what do we have? He was in there for I don't know how this bothered. He was in there for one pass blocking snap, and he graded out at a 0.5. 0.5. I don't think I've seen that before. I've seen a 0 before, but I don't think I've seen a 0.5. So our halfbacks, once again, according to PFF, that's all I'm going by, did not grade out very well. One graded out at 47.7, the other one 46.4. So they did not grade out very well, and their pass blocking was not very good either. So Tracy graded out at 24 for pass blocking, and somehow Singletary, in one snap, I don't know. Once again, I've never seen that. One snap, Singletary graded out at 0.5. I mean, crazy. I've never seen that before. So once again, that's just by PFF. All right, so then I want to go over. Let's see got two more here. All right, now we got. I mean, and very, very impressive. The defense did a very nice job. Very, very nice job. I mean, only gave up 14 points to the Saints. Kept the run defense with the guys that are in there. I mean, with Muasau and McFadden at the linebacker position, the defensive line. I mean, doing very good, keeping the Saints under 100 yards. I mean, because we've had our full. We've had, Burnsy there and Kayvon. We've had Sexy Dexy and Nacho, and we've given up like 150, 60, 70 yards or whatever it was. And we had a Karakay and McFadden. We still giving up a bunch. So with all the backup guys we've had in there, I'll tell you what. I mean, it's very, very impressive what the Giants did on defense here. So let me go here. Whoops. All right, game report. We'll go to defense. A lot of guys on defense here. Okay. So the first one was Kayvon. I think this is his best game of the year. Kayvon. He had 3 total pressures. He had, according to PFF, anyway. He had a hurry, a hit, and a sack. Graded at 83.8. Tre Hawkins had a very good game, obviously, with the interception, right? So, unfortunately, Tre Hawkins comes in, plays 59 snaps, has a very good game, grades out of 79.3, and the season's over with. Micah McFadden, who had, now see here, I mean, it just goes to show you, they have 8 tackles. You go to ESPN after the game was over, I think they had him with 11 or 12 tackles, McFadden. So, it's weird. But McFadden graded at 77.7. Jason Pinnock was in there for 68 snaps, 71.4. Dane Belton, 40 snaps, 70.1. Elijah Chapman was in there for 57 snaps, 69.7. Elijah Garcia was in there for 29 snaps. He did well, 68. Brian Burns was in there for 54 snaps. He rated a 65.5. His tackle was a 28.1. Part of the reason why was he missed 2 tackles. So that's why he's tackling. According to PFF, he missed 2 tackles. Art Green was in there for just 4 snaps, 64.6. Greg Stroman Jr., 37 snaps, 62.7. Then we got a bunch of these guys. I mean, some of this is like special teams and all, so I'm not even going to worry talk about that. Like with Smith, Marset, and Bryce Ford Wheaton and all. But we got Tyler Nubin, 37 snaps, 59.1. Of course, he was hurt too. So Dory Jackson was in there for 68 snaps, 58.2. Isaiah Simmons, 17 snaps, 54.9. Patrick Johnson was in there for 10 snaps, 54.8. Corey Durden, who we just got from the Rams, right, was in there for 23 snaps, graded at 54.6. We got here Casey Rogers, 21 snaps, 52.2. Jordan Riley, nose tackle, 38 snaps, 48. Toman Fox, 17 snaps, graded out of 42. And Darius Muasau, they gave him, 31.5. It was weird because he had 52 snaps, 31.5. They gave him 7 tackles. Once again, I think if you, it's all based on, PFF, how they grade it out. But if you look at, Muasau, I think you go to ESPN, the game, right? They have box scores and all. I think they got Muasau there for 8 tackles. So he had 8 tackles, but somehow he graded out like a 30, 31, whatever it is. So it is what it is. It's just all based on PFF. But, however you want to look at it, they, players had good games or bad games, or whatever, and the Saints are not a offensive juggernaut, although the first 2 games of the season, you'd be hard-pressed to tell me otherwise. They scored over 90 points the first 2 games of the season. Now, granted, one game was against Carolina, and then the other one was against the Cowboys in Dallas, where the Cowboys just seem to stink this year. But, after that, the Saints' offense is just, very, not too good, But anyway, to keep any professional football team to just 14 points and under 100 yards rushing, you got to give them a lot of credit. It's going to be a little different ball game this week. It's going to be a little different. I hope that we can keep King Henry and Lamar Jackson at bay, but kind of doubt. I said that they're coming off their bye, so they'll be a little, refreshed. I'm not sure how banged up they are. We'll have to see if the injury reports are coming out or anything like that. But they're coming off their bye. They lost a tough one to the Eagles. They can't afford to lose too many more games, or they won't even make the freaking playoffs. And for the Baltimore Raven team with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback, if you're on the edge or possibly missing the playoffs, that would be a brutal blow to the Ravens. Brutal. So to the Ravens, this is a get-right game. The Giants are staring straight in the eye of an 0-8 season, after this game at home. And if we can't beat would that be, I guess, the Colts? We've got the Colts at home, right? So if we can't beat the Colts, could you imagine going 0-9 at home? Oh, my God. And there was something, and because I guess they played, there was something in Facebook groups, right? And it was a picture, it had four pictures in it. And it said teams with 1 win at MetLife Stadium during the 2024 year. Now, of course, let's not forget, the Giants beat the Eagles in January, last game of the season, at home last year, right? So that's the Giants' 1 win this season in 2020, not this season, I'm sorry, in the calendar year, 2024. So the Giants have 1 win at home in 2024, not the 2024 season, but in the calendar year, 2024. I think Barcelona, the soccer team, has a win here. The Rangers hockey team has more wins at MetLife Stadium, or as many wins as MetLife Stadium as the Giants do, right? And I think the Devils too. I guess they played a couple, I guess, outdoor games here, I guess it was, or something. I don't know. One of them, I guess, the Winter Classic or whatever it is. But so the Giants actually have 1 win at MetLife Stadium in 2024. It was just happened to be the 2023 season. But if the Giants finish up 0-9, I'm going to do a video on this tomorrow, but that would be an NFL record. Obviously, it's a little skewed or a little misleading because the only way, for the most part, you can go 0-9 was you have to have a 17-game schedule. You're not playing 9 home games, right, in a 16-game schedule. You could play 9 home games in a 16-game schedule if one of them was a playoff game, but you're not going 0-8 at home, right, and getting a home playoff game. That's not happening, right? I mean, there's been teams who've gone 0-8 at home during a 16-game schedule. There's teams obviously have gone 0-7 in a 14-game schedule, right? But nobody's ever gone 0-9 because, I mean, obviously it's only been, we've only had the 17-game schedule for only so many years. So, but the Giants, if they were to lose against the Ravens, which is quite possible, they lose against the Colts, the Giants would be the first team to go 0-9, right? They set the NFL record for going the most games without an interception with 12, right? From week 1 to week 13, so that's an NFL record. They might be the first team to go 0-9 at home. So I mean, it's just one thing after the other. It's just absolutely horrible. All right, now finally, so we went over to defense. Let me just finish up here with the special teams here. Unfortunately, I mean, it's sad, what the and you can kind of see if you get. I know there was a view that I was seeing, right, from the end zone, from behind the Saints. Whoops, move. There we go. Behind the Saints, you can kind of see, one of the guys was holding. It was Kubas down or whatever, had his hand on him. It's kind of like what the Giants did, though. That's what Sexy Dexy did. I was Sexy, and it was somebody else against the Saints. Basically, you get there and you hold the offensive lineman down so they can't get up, right? So you kind of lay on them or hold them down, whatever you got to do. And Isaiah Simmons jumped over, right? And that's what the Saints did. Right, so you win by the block, and I guess you die by the block. So it is what it is. But so let's go over the real fast here. All right, share the screen here one more time, and go over the special teams. All right, so you got here special teams. Now, there's always a ton of special teamers here. Oh yeah, look at all these guys. Casey Rogers, wow. Was in there for just 4 snaps, but he graded out a 93.4. Wonder what the heck he did. Eric Gray. And I think he went a whole game without fumbling the ball. Huh? But, of course, he was only in there for 4 snaps. 1 kick coverage and 3 kick return. He graded out 76.6. Patrick Johnson was in there for 25 snaps. Looks like he was in there for possibly, I guess, all 25 snaps, big special teamer, graded 74.5. Anthony Johnson, Jr., 10 snaps, he graded out at a 70. Tre Hawkins, the third, is in there for just 2 snaps, he graded out 69.2. Ty Summers, 21 snaps, he 66.4. Art Green, 25 snaps, 65.9. Bryce Ford Wheaton, 23 snaps, 64.5. Isaiah Simmons was in there for 9 snaps, 60, graded out 64. Then you'll always get this for some. You always get a bunch of 60s in PFF, a bunch of 60s, or grades very close to 60. Like here you got what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 11 guys with a grade of a 60. Then you got you got 3 guys with a grade of a 59. So you got Jamie Gillen, graded at a 60. Toman Fox, graded out at a 60. Phillips, Amir Smith-Marset, graded out at 60. Greg Van Roten and Evan Neal, graded out at a 60. Elijah Chapman was even in there. What the heck was he in there for? Oh, field goal block. Okay. Elijah Chapman and Joshua Zudu, they graded out at 60. Aaron Stinnie and John Runyan, they both graded out at 60. Graham Gano graded out at a 60. And the thing is, it's kind of like, it really wasn't his fault. He kicked the ball. It probably would have gone through, you figure. But, you wonder, does he get penalized at all because his field goal wound up getting blocked? This is something like that. Daniel Bellinger, he was a busy man. 14 special team snaps and all those offensive snaps. So Daniel Bellinger was a busy guy. Graded out of 59. Corey Durden and Jordan Riley also graded out of 59. Then you got Chris Manhertz. He was in there for 11 snaps. Graded out of 58. Matthew Adams, 24 snaps, 56.5. Darius Muasau, he was a busy guy. He was at 15 snaps, 56.4. Dane Belton, 24 snaps, 51.3. Then you got the bottom four here. You got Tyler Newman, 5 snaps, 45.8. Jake Kubas. All right, we got 3. He was in there for 3 snaps, 40.4. Casey Kreider, he was in there for 11 snaps, graded at 37.1. And Greg Stroman Jr., let's see, 8 snaps. He was the worst, 28.6. Now, it's kind of weird because you got like Casey Kreider Jr. here, graded out at the bottom, 37.1. But then you click on his name and you look at this here, right? 37.1. Yeah, I mean, it's all, it's 52, but one his game he grades out at a 90. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. But it just goes to show you, I mean, how many players, get involved in special teams. I mean, even like Daniel Bellinger, he was our starting tight end. How many snaps he had? Look at a lot of the guys on defense, or special teams. Goes to show you, how many players are involved with special teams. It's a lot, and that's why you can certainly see, without question, a lot of times when guys get brought up, from the practice squad, or guys are on the team and there's special teams, or help out. You can see, I mean, there's a lot of them play 25 snaps, 25, 26, whatever snaps on special teams. That's quite a bit. So that's very, very valuable. But it goes to show you, how many players play with special teams. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 33 minutes. Hey, guys, man, thank you so much for all your comments. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for staying up with me. Thank you. Hey, you keep me awake, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay, just once again, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.